to me is a Cadillac CT5 Blackwing, and this is Cadillac's answer to the super sedans from Germany, mainly the M5 E63 and the Audi RS7. And for someone that's pretty much owned all of those cars, I've had a bunch of AMGs, currently have an RS7, I've had an M5. In today's video, I'm gonna explain to you guys why this might be the better option. So we gotta start with the heart of the beast, because under the hood, we have a hand-built LT4 6.2 liter supercharged V8 that puts out 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque. So no turbocharging here, unlike the Germans that still have a V8 under the hood. This thing is supercharged. It sounds absolutely amazing, and we're going to take a listen here very, very shortly. I have to say, it is pretty crazy that you can currently buy a Cadillac with a supercharged V8 under the hood, and you can also buy it with a manual transmission. The one that we have here today is the 10-speed automatic. Another thing that is pretty crazy in the automotive industry currently is that everything is going towards electrification, and Cadillac has said that their whole lineup by 2031 is going to be electrified. Now, Cadillac has, thank God, recently kind of walked back those statements, like most manufacturers have, like Volvo, Ford, GM, and a bunch of others, as they seem to understand that electrification is not what the customer base wants, especially not for a car like this that is basically a luxury super sedan from Cadillac that is a muscle car. So the CT5 is currently the biggest sedan that you can buy in the Cadillac lineup, which is in itself kind of crazy, because Cadillacs back in the day have been known for making huge sedans. The CT5 is kind of in between an M3 and an M5 size-wise. I have to say, it feels more like an M3 size-wise to me, even though it is a competitor to the M5 power-wise. Now, we do know that the new M5 looks kind of funky, at least in my opinion. The E63 looks great from the front. The CT5 looks good in every angle, especially from the front. Very aggressive front end styling, of course. We have a mesh grille here, the Cadillac emblem, obviously. We have LED headlights, great LED daytime running strip that starts up here, goes all the way down here. Our tester here today is thanks to Rorik Cadillac of Pittsburgh. They lent this car for me for the day to make a video for you guys, and it is equipped with pretty much every option. We have the exterior carbon fiber pack, so we got a big carbon fiber splitter here, carbon fiber on top of the grille. We also have carbon fiber canards here on the side. It just looks really, really good. So as we get to the rear end here, part of the exterior carbon fiber package is this carbon fiber spoiler. This spoiler is a lot bigger than it would be if it was not part of the carbon fiber package and just body color. So we get down to the diffuser, obviously in carbon fiber as well. Now we got quad dual tip exhaust tips, and these tips, they actually remind me of the AMG tips. The same that we get on C63s and E63s and so on. And I can't really believe I'm saying this, but a CT5 Blackwing actually sounds better than an AMG. Let's take a listen. All right, so this is the key fob for the CT5 Blackwing, and unlike an AMG or an M5, you don't get remote start on the key fob. You do on the Caddy. So check this out. It's currently warm, but it sounds so good. Even though it has a rev limiter at 4 grand, it sounds really, really good. It has more of a muscle car sound compared to the Germans, the RS7, M5, and E63. So we have 19-inch wheels on the 530s in the rear, 275/35 up front. On the Blackwing back, there's no mistaking. This is the Blackwing. Same goes for the trunk. Now, speaking of the trunk, it's got pretty good space in here. We can fit a 6.2-inch bald Swedish guy back there. I don't recommend it, but yeah, it's got pretty good room. Now, I forgot some more carbon fiber here. So we got a carbon fiber side skirt as well. So we're gonna head on inside, and we're gonna start with the rear seat. Before we do that though, we gotta appreciate this radiant red tint coat color. The car looks absolutely amazing in this red, and having the carbon fiber as contrast and the gunmetal gray wheels let's hop in the back here. Like we said, size-wise, this is a mix between a C-Class Mercedes, 3 Series BMW, and a 5 Series BMW. So it's a little bigger than a C-Class or a 3 Series, but it's not as big as an E-Class or a 5 Series. And we always got to check the legroom in the back and headroom, as I am 6'2". Before we do that, look at the carbon seats, or the carbon backs of the seat. We got the V logo right there. I mean, it's not really a major problem, but I guess the issue would be that the headroom is a little less for someone like me. I do have plenty of knee room though behind my driver's position. Got a little charging port there, 12 volt as well. Again, the back of these carbon seats look amazing. Got carbon in the side of the door, cup holders right there. Let's jump in the driver's seat. All right, so like we said, carbon in the door panel, just regular window controls. Got a little trunk popper right there. Got the V logo in the sill plate as we step in. These seats are amazing. I love this gloss finish here, very bolstered. Got white piping. We got some red and white stitching there. Got some, what almost looks like some diamond quilted type of leather there. Start her up right away. By the way, it's got a 16 speaker AKG system. It is a phenomenal stereo system in general. And you can't really demonstrate this on video because you get demonetized and it doesn't really do justice sound-wise anyhow, but very, very good system. So this is a 2024, brand spanking new. For 2025, the CT5 will get the upgraded screen that we have in the Escalade. We have just a regular touchscreen, very responsive. The main thing we're gonna do right away is hit this V button, because then it pops up here. You can control the engine sound, steering, suspension, engine shift feel and brake feel and so on. And then we have a digitalized instrument cluster as well. And what I like about this car, and also the Escalade that has the same engine, is that you don't really hear a lot of induction noise. You just hear exhaust sound from the rear, and I love it. Another thing that we'll notice also when we get out on the road is that this car is a bit more subdued sound-wise than the Escalade V, which is mind-blowing to me, because the Escalade is supposed to be, you know, this family vehicle and super luxury, and that's louder than this super performance sedan from Cadillac. That can all be fixed, of course, with, you know, straight piping it, which I would do immediately. But we have carbon fiber here on the steering wheel as well. It says 81 of 1,011, so I'm assuming this is the 81st CT5V made out of 1,011 that will ever be made. I don't know if that's for 2024 or just all in all. We got physical buttons here, which I like. So we heated and cooled seats here, all this stuff for your climate. You don't have to go into the touchscreen. Excellent backup camera, or 360 camera I should say. All in all, it's a quality feel in here. Some of the buttons might feel a little plasticky, but you'll get that in all the competitors as well. So we got a panoramic moonroof here also. I had it open earlier, close to shade. It's funky weather here in the fall. It starts off with 50 degrees and then it goes up to close to 80, and now I'm sweating. I was freezing earlier. Cubby space here in the armrest with just charging stations. SD card slot there as well, because this does come equipped with a video recorder. You can record videos from the car, but you do need an SD card to store all this the footage in. Then you got mode buttons here. So if we press that, you got drive mode, sport, track, snow, ice, my mode, which is like an individual mode, tour. It becomes very, you know, daily drivable, softens up the suspension and so on. It speaks for itself. Keep it in track. We're gonna keep it in V mode. That's what we're gonna do. So the rear view mirror dubs as a regular rear view mirror or a camera. I like that feature. All right, so now for the fun part. 668 horsepower, 659 torque, and the torque comes on immediately. And I just love the sound it makes when you shift. I don't know what to compare the sound to, but it just sounds like you're just cutting stone or something. So it's got Magna Ride suspension, and it handles very well for, you
you know, a 4,000 plus super sedan with a big V8 under the hood. Sits well on the road. So in V mode, we do get some crackles, not as much as we did in the Escalade V. As I mentioned earlier, it's very odd that the Escalade V is like crazy loud, just obnoxiously loud, and that's a big luxury SUV. Most likely the most luxurious full-size super large SUV that you can buy. Oh, this thing is brutal. I just wish they would have opened up the exhaust a little bit more. Now this car is also not broken in fully yet, so launch control is not available, and it doesn't really let you rev all the way through all the RPMs either until it is fully broken in. But even in the lower RPMs, we can get up to probably 5,500 before the engine kind of cuts it off. It is just, it's crazy fast. The torque comes on, like I said, early on. It's just very, very torquey. And if I haven't mentioned it already, this is not all-wheel drive. Unlike an E63 or an M5, this is rear-wheel drive. So you do get that muscle car feel, the muscle car sound. You know, if you turn all the nannies off, you're on your own, and you got to know how to drive, because this has a lot of power. A little pull here. Oh man, this thing pulls like an angry, just I don't know what, man. Yeah, this car is no joke. It is no joke. So I have to say, these seats are very, very comfortable. I had the performance seats in my first C63 and they were extremely stiff. You could also only get the heated seats when you chose the performance seats in the AMG. This one comes with heated and cooled seats. So what does a CT5-V Blackwing actually cost? Well, it starts around $90,000. Now, like most brands, especially luxury brands, you start checking every box for the options. The price obviously goes up. This one that we're driving here today is pretty much fully spec'd, minus carbon ceramic brakes, and it stickers at $129,000. Now you compare that to an E63 or an M5 or even a C63 goes over $100,000 nowadays. I'm sure you can spec an M4 to over 100 grand as well. So it is pretty competitive price-wise to the competition, and the competition is, as we already mentioned, the big super performance sedans from Germany. The question would be, what do you choose? And if you're in the market for one of those cars and you haven't really considered a CT5-V Blackwing, as someone that's owned many German performance sedans, you have to check this out. I'm not trying to sell this car for the dealership or anything like that. This is my honest opinion. This thing is absolutely amazing, and it just has that feeling of more rawness than the Germans have. Can you imagine if this were to come out for the next generation and be electric? That would be an abomination. I don't think anyone would buy it. I'm very interested to see how the new Dodge Banshee is going to sell. The successor of the Hellcat that has manufactured fake engine noise or some kind of noise. That, I mean, it's just, we have to preserve these type of cars. Yeah, they are obnoxious, got a big engine and a relatively small sedan, and it's got a high price tag and all that. But the high horsepower performance EVs, they cost a ton of money as well. That's just, you're not going to get away from the price tag. Hold on, underpass. Show me a Tesla that can do that. I love it. Now, not to start talking about EVs and the market and all that stuff too much, but I don't mind that there's certain models around that are EVs, but you can't take a whole lineup and make everything EV. We need combustion engines, especially for the performance cars, because they have a soul. There's something emotional about driving a car like this, the sound and just the shifting of the gears. And like we said earlier, you can even buy this car with a 6-speed manual. You can't do that in an EV. So we currently have it in manual. It shifts very quick. If you want to put it back in automatic, you just pull the gear lever down and it goes to automatic. You want it back in manual, just pull it down again. There's no like flipping back and forth side to side. Oh, we got a bug splash. I hate that. Now, one thing I do love though, when you want to use the windshield wipers, it sprays first and then wipes. On a lot of German cars, it starts wiping before it sprays. So when you get a bug splash, it's already smeared in there, and then the windshield wiper fluid doesn't really do much because it's, yeah, already smeared. All right, so to end the video, we're going in a tunnel. It's probably gonna be packed with traffic. It's not really packed with traffic. Okay, now it's packed with traffic. Pop, 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 pop. I just love that the engineers incorporated that crackle. Like I said, you don't have to have the car sound like that all the time, but it's cool that you're able to do it if you want to, because we all know in the future it's not going to be making any sound at all. So with that being said, special thanks once again to Rory Cadillac of Pittsburgh for lending me the CT5-V Blackwing for the day so I can make a video. I absolutely love it. Do you think that this is a viable option for an M5 or an E63 or in between a C63, M4-ish type of car? So leave it in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.